Yow. What's good, y'all? I'm liking the new themes there, 2K. It's about time. Well, actually, not even 2K. That's the PS4. We used to have the old ass themes from like since the system came out and all that. But what's good, y'all? Y'all know it's King Sin. Here dropping, another defensive video. Especially since the Warriors been in the finals. Every time I play online, dude's been going with either the Warriors or the Cavs. But recently, it's been a lot of the Warriors. So I got tired of just backing out because I got tired of playing the Warriors. I just said, you know what? Let me just match up, play the best defense, and see what happens. So this video is pretty much going to be me just going straight at dude. Now, I mean, things I always say, you got to exploit weaknesses in each team. Like the Warriors, they got this new small lineup. You got to go big. You got to make them work. Like you got to out rebound them. You got to make them work for everything. So I'm playing dude. He eventually quits, and I think the second or third quarter, one of them, but he was getting blown out. And it's like I just took away, like I always say, I just take away what I'm pretty sure they're going to be very comfortable with, and I make them use other options. So that was a tough layup. I mean, if they're gonna hit it, they're gonna hit it. But again, just dropping these videos to pretty much show y'all like team doesn't really matter. It's how they play with the team, and then if they got the releases, do they play defense? Any team that can't play defense can be beat. If you want to play off ball or game, I'm gonna torch you. Tell dudes that all the time. I got so many videos of dudes trying to play off ball on me, like, and it's crazy. You're gonna play off ball, I'm gonna torch you, and that's straight point blank. Period. This game starts so slow, a lot of sloppy turnovers, so he kept it close. But then eventually, I believe I made my. You seen that block? Let's go, Westbrook. That's how you get back into play. Eventually, stop committing the turnovers, and then from there, these are silly turnovers right here. And from there, just went off on them, just started destroying them, getting where I wanted to, what I wanted to do. I think we hit the defensive settings on them. I'm not sure if that was this game where, no, actually it wasn't this game. But with this, pretty much, I already know it's going to be Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. I make them work, I eventually put Roberson in the game, leave him on Klay Thompson, and Westbrook is a good enough defender to stop Steph Curry. And this is pretty much the only team I think can match up evenly with the Warriors. Quite simply because they have two superstars. Both superstars could score and they could play defense. So, you're not losing anything with either one of them on the floor. And then, you got Ibaka to hit the pick and pop or grab the offensive rebounds and Enes Kanter. So, I'm all about matching up, playing D. I mean, you got to make them work for everything. So, again, I'm on the PS4 as Mr. Banks, MR_BANKZ. And I'm on the Xbox One as King Sin. No, actually, Sin is King. SIN space IZ space KING. I think defense is a lot better on the PS4, which is why I tend to go to it. And then you can see when dudes is playing off ball. So I tend to do my videos on a one. I mean, on a PS4, excuse me, not on the Xbox One. But I mean, I did post a few videos on the one. So if you guys want to check it out, hit me up. Drop a comment, question, subscribe. I'm going to try and do some more videos, especially in the summertime, when dudes going to be on more, and then all the rosters are going to reset. So you could play with Kyrie, Kevin Love, all them dudes. Because I'm pretty sure that's when dudes are going to play with the Cavs a lot more. But, doing this in the middle of the NBA Finals, Warriors up briefly right now. I had the Warriors going in 5 or 6 the whole time. I mean, if they lose, it's King James. You can't beat him. He's been there too many times. He got too much experience. But I think the Warriors have the best chance. Anyway, any questions, concerns, drop me a message or email me at kiingsin@gmail.com. Other than that, hit me up.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here. Coming into this, having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
And they lit it up from the three-point line. You don't always have to shoot like that to win a game, but it sure doesn't hurt.
Their percentage from deep was excellent. Just take a look at the box score.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Morrow comes in for Cantor. And it's Zingler in for Dion Waiters.
because, you know, there are polls for just about everything in sports. Last year, Steph Curry was actually voted as the most trustworthy player in the league.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Well, you got to admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season, shooting better than 90% from the stripe.
Guys, I like that this is a part of his game that has really been consistent this year.
Adams, he's checked in for the Thunder. Then for the Warriors, Andrew Bogut checked in for Green. Lee comes in for Barnes. And it's Livingston in for Andre Iguodala.
How about that nice 1-2 punch there, guys? Great defensive play, and, of course, it leads to the great basket in transition.
Love the attacking style there, Steve.
You talked about trust in Steph Curry. It seemed he was able to trust his ankles a bit more last year.
Yeah, that had been a big concern. Repeated ankle sprains. Part of the reason the Warriors were able to sign him to such a bargain extension. But when healthy, clearly an all-star and all-league player.
In terms of rebounding, it's been a sensational opening quarter.
I like sensational. That's a good word for it.
Another miss by Curry.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Here's Singler. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
It was an emphatic win for them, especially considering that it was on the road. No question, by the way, that it was their offense that carried them.
Steve, I love the way they attacked at every opportunity. They never were on their heels, and eventually that'll...
Yeah, man. A few more notes. I don't think I did the defensive settings, but pretty much what I do when I play against teams like the Warriors, since this is a defensive tutorial, let me give a little pointers. Cash money. Bangs. Momentum is everything in this game. So pretty much if you're playing the up and down tempo with a team that can't really keep up the up and down tempo, meaning you go to the bench and they can't really stay with you, you're just burning your players out. Like, you're going to burn them out during that short period. And then once they get tired, the lead is just going to get blown over. But for players like Steph Curry, it's going to be hard to put deny on him because he brings the ball up. So, I mean, he already has the ball. You can't deny him the ball. Unless you're doing a full court press or a full court trap, in which case then you can deny and then try and keep him from catching the ball in. But it's not always going to work like that. That back and forth thing, I'm telling dudes now, don't jump. Like, go to Xbox, go to the settings and put contest. So when they go to shoot, you contest the shot with a hand up. You don't need to jump. You're not going to block it regardless. Just put contest. So when they go to shoot, you contest them on the intense D. You know, once you put a hand up, that's good enough. If they're going to hit it, they're going to hit it. That must mean they got a perfect release or they were pretty close to a perfect release. But as long as you're in the area, don't jump. That's how you combat that back and forth speed burst trick or whatever. I mean, 2K pretty much killed it. It's not as effective, but you've seen how he ran at him on a shot. That's how you need it. You don't need to block. Just run at them or put a hand up. That's pretty much it. For Klay Thompson, I put deny ball because he doesn't have the ball. And for other shooters, like I said, I don't know if I did it this game, but Harrison Barnes, he's a okay catch and shoot. He's not as good as Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. But for players like Iguodala, he's not a good shooter. I'll give him a gap. And what that's going to do is it's going to force the other players, whoever's holding Iguodala, which is Kevin Durant, to play off him and give him space. Once he gets the space, good dunk, Westbrook. Once he gets the space, it's going to allow him to help if you go to double team or if you put double team on drive. That's all that's going to do. You know, it's going to give him the space. It's going to force Iguodala to take shots. He's an okay shooter. Look at this shot. He's open. He rushed it because he's seen the defense coming. He rushed it. He's not getting the same shots and the same looks. You know, and then, again, as Stu Jackson says, shooting turnovers. Bad shots, we out in the fast break, we get them. You know what I mean? Hand up every shot. Every shot is contested. Like I said, OKC could have made the finals if they would have had KD for a majority of the season. I've been saying that. They were the only team that could have competed with the Warriors, but without KD, rattled team, you know. So, again, I go to teams that match up well. Westbrook can defend Steph Curry. He can't stop him. He can defend him. And if Steph Curry's cold,
Different look here for
it's
the
a wrap.
Warriors.
It's a wrap. He's going to have to go to Klay Thompson.
Checked in
You
for
can put your
Drew
best
Holiday.
defender, or you can put
Lee
KD,
comes
who
in
has length, on
for
Klay
Drew
Thompson to
Holiday.
just make it harder for him to
Leandro
score. Send a
Bogosian
double
is
team at
checked in
him.
for Klay Thompson.
Anytime he catch the ball,
It's
I go
Livingston in
back and
for
forth between
Curry.
half court trap and man to man,
Inbounds
because
for
pretty much
Green.
you don't want to be predictable. Got him. You don't want to be predictable and make your offense or your
Sometimes you see a
defense
player give up a
predictable,
tear like
because
this,
then
and
if
you
you go to
elevate
2-3,
an entire
you know,
team.
especially now a lot of dudes play the 2K view,
Well,
they could
supposedly,
see what
Kevin
you're in and
Durant,
where the holes is at,
a.k.a.
the gaps.
KD, he was always playing
Yeah,
NBA
he shot
2K
with
prior to
Iguodala. I mean, he shot with
NBA. So
Sean
this
Livingston. I gave Sean Livingston so much space.
as an
He
informal
can't shoot
scouting
for
report from
ish,
the other
but
team.
you don't want to be predictable on defense or offense. A lot of dudes play the
Keep
2K
listening,
view.
KD, and keep
I play
learning.
this view and I be killing dudes. Like,
Second chance shot.
only time I switch to the 2K view is if I see that dudes is playing the 2K view, meaning like they throwing long bombs up court, they catching it, they
Very
going
things
straight to
there.
the rack, because they can
Hasn't
see the whole
scored yet.
court.
That I'm sure will change.
And if they're beating me with it, then I'll switch to the 2K view,
Connects on the night
because you
three.
know it's like, all right, I'm not gonna give you the
And Kevin
advantage,
Durant,
you
guys,
know,
just
and play the
shooting from
2K view while I'm playing this
6'9".
view,
I
and then you're
envision
beating me
he
with
is
it.
that
So
height in video games.
KD.
Just hate to think
So
of some of
again,
those
as you
plays.
can see, he
Yeah,
has
maybe.
11
You know, it's
points.
interesting.
He
Some
started the quarter
guys who
with
were supposed
9.
to
He
be
just hit a
playing
short jump
7
shot with
games
Andrew
were
Bogut.
starting
Like,
to
that
actually
wasn't
be
even a
listed
high
as
percentage
smaller. That
shot.
was
He
just
eventually just starts
transfers.
jacking
He
up
wants to give
threes.
opponents more of a guard.
Can't score on that either. I mean, I give him credit. I think he stayed into the third quarter and then he quit. He was down by like maybe 25 or 30 or some
He was right
ish.
there,
But
but the defensive pressure forced
make him
that
work for
finish.
everything, man. If they're gonna
Both
beat you, make him
defenses
work
have
for it.
really made it
I
a
don't
tough
play
night.
games just to fucking
And here's the
to
fast
lose.
break.
Like, I'm very competitive. So if I play, no matter how bad the team, I'm playing to win.
Warriors trail
I
by
don't care if I'm playing my
19.
nieces and nephews.
And out of bounds
That's
after the
one thing I
Thunder
wanted to
gain the
mention.
possession.
I mean, he overthrew him
Over
completely
here
about
now,
like
see some of the numbers
15,
for Russell
15
Westbrook.
feet, 10 to
First in
15 feet.
scoring,
And
second in
that's
steals,
bad. Like,
and he
2K, it
gets
could
to
have
the
been a
top
little
5 in the
closer,
league
whatever
in
the case may be.
assists.
So
So
when you're
an
running a fast
excellent
break, I
job of
understand you want to stop the
creating
leak
offense
out
for his
or
team.
the advantage,
And
but I
Steve, we
mean,
really can't gloss over
that
the
should
way
have
he is
been
top scorer in the
a
NBA. I
layup,
mean, he's the
or at
glue of the
least
game. We don't
he
want to
could
see
have caught it
him
and hit the
lose.
shot. But yeah, add me, 2K, hit me up. You already, Mr. Banks.